Hey, this is Robert. Thank you for tuning into the show. And yeah, we're here not live, but we're just kind of chatting, just these two schmucks. And in case of you might recognize the setup might be a little familiar. Well, we have the other stooge in the house. We have Dustin Parsons. I've had Kayla, now we have Dustin. So I knew I had to rope you in somehow. So thank you so much for joining me today.
It happened. It happened. We're not live, but at least I'm feeling alive. Let's get into it.
Boy, yeah, I know. Like I'm trying to stay alive from this from this LA heat. Oh my God.
Oh God, I can't imagine. It ain't too great in Dallas, but at least we get a dry heat.
Mm, I don't know which one is worse or better, depending on less of the two. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me, Dustin.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, like I've been really wanting to talk to you about theater, doing, a lot of stuff that I kind of talk about all the time on the show, but from your perspective, because everybody is different and unique, you know what I mean?
For sure, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I guess to start off with with this interview, like how's your 2025? Because I know you've been doing a lot of stuff, so let's talk about it.
Yeah, 2025's been a big year for me. I got signed with Crunchyroll this year. So I've been doing a lot of, schoolboys, a bunch of, a lot of the background stuff. I've been monsters, a couple different dragons, a lot of dying enemies has been fun. But yeah, it's been a great pursuit in terms of dubbing, but also, we're still big in the theater scene. Getting my commercial demo off the ground, gonna start sending to agencies over in this area. And I still haven't really dipped my toe into film since college, but I think theater voice keeps me busy enough that we're we're still going, and always doing more directing works. I'm gonna be doing a 20-minute play festival going on in, I believe, Garland pretty soon. If you're in the Dallas area, go check us out there. And then I'm also going to be producing a rendition of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead with a couple other crunchy voice actors. And so that'll be fun and great. And yeah, just always staying busy.
I mean, I think you're kind of I kind of shared a little bit of what I've got cooking up, and I kind of dedicated an entire month related to my shrine thing. So I don't think there's really much else that I can really say about that. But other than that, though, like I said, just did some trying to wake up and then doing like I mentioned auditions. Like try doing
Mhm.
like these really kind of high energy, kind of scratchy type of voice characters. Like, yeah, those are always fun. Like doing the high energy, sort of vocally stressful stuff in the morning because that gets you to wake up really nice and all these, all that stuff. So that
It's
we
a
we
vocal
live we
version of a
live it
cold shower. It's great.
exactly.
Does it
Like
every time.
yeah, we're just vibing. Like we really, that's when you know that you made it. You know what I mean? So
The
yeah,
auditions are the work, and we're always hungry.
ex brother, tell me about it. But yeah, let's get down to I guess the nitty gritty here. I think I sorta did a little bit of research, but to those that may not be, that are curious, what was the moment that you wanted to be an actor and audio engineer? Just pretty much do a lot of these creative mumbo jumbo that you're doing right now.
So acting started pretty early in my life. My dad's side of things, he threw me through every kind of sport imaginable, and after each season, I'd be like, no
Hmm.
more. I don't want to play basketball. I'm 3 foot nothing. And then it was like football, and then everything else. I stuck with hockey for a little bit, but then my mom, when I think it was like 8 years old or something, like it's something really stupid young. And there was this children's theater, where it's a bunch of children doing shows for children. And I first started doing, I was the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland, if you could frickin' imagine that, because
I could kind of
it
see it.
fit. It fit, yeah. And yeah, sorry, Dad, but that one stick. So I kept with the acting thing. Kept going all throughout elementary, middle, high school, and then eventually I'm like, you know what? Maybe I got enough jobs to make this happen. If I don't get into any schools that I really want to go to, then I'll do my backup plan and I'll be a lawyer, and my dad will be proud. Sorry, Dad, part two. I got into a good school, and now I'm down in Dallas doing all this stuff. But when I started getting more of a passion for the audio engineering, for the design work and stuff like that, on the post production side of things, it was COVID because everybody got into audio during COVID. Everybody's locked in the house. And I started taking a little bit more classes at school at the time of what it takes to what makes good audio and what can we do with shitty audio to make it sound polished and clean, which I thought like, oh, fantastic, if I'm gonna try this voice acting thing, I gotta know how to clean it up. And then eventually the classes started getting more fun. I started liking my professor and the classmates with me, and it was like, maybe I take a couple more classes, and then I got roped in. I really fell for it. It became a passion of mine, and it's something that I don't think I'm going to like be known for at the end of the day, but it's always something in my mind where it's like if I can help a buddy out, make a demo for him, uh, knock it out for a cheap price, that's more than enough for me to say that that was worth it. So we love it.
Yeah, we all love it in this house. Also, that I kid you not, man. That is exactly, I think your story is kind of like very similar to mine because I used to be like the sports dude, just trying out different sports. My dad would always make me run track, kickball, just pretty much everything in between. And then I was like, you know what? I graduated elementary. I'm just like, you know what? I think I kind of wanted to dabble more into like online homeschooling stuff. And then I found voiceover. And then I'm just like, okay, well, Dad, I kind of went into a different direction. I might dabble more into sports sometime in the future, but we'll see how everything goes if I'm not holed up in this closet behind me. And you mentioned, I guess, it what sticks after all. I think that probably might have been a dad joke because hockey, blah blah blah. So yeah, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but yeah, just want to point that out.
It is now.
Yeah,
I totally meant it.
it is a
Yeah,
dad
for
joke.
sure.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, you've done a lot of work for Crunchyroll, did theater and everything, writing. So, and I really hate asking this, but what would you say were some of the ones that you consider to be some of your favorite work that you've done that you're the most proud of? Proud. Mm,
My most proud work probably hasn't been released yet. Um,
That's
Honest to
why I
God,
kind of, yeah, that's why I was kind of hesitant on asking. I'm like, okay, what is your favorite? But it has an NDA.
no, it's all good because it's actually not from Crunchy. Whenever I go into the studio, I have this major imposter syndrome because this is the thing that I've been Sunday morning cartoons as a kid, watching Dragon Ball Z, and then I'm walking around and I see all these people who have influenced my creative life walking around me, and I freeze up, and I've stopped really going for it as hard as I'm making a lot of safe choices right now. And I feel like I've finally hit a point where I'm like, oh, okay, they really do want me to go for it. I just need to, shake off the nerves and stuff. And I think I've been there a little long enough now where it's like, I can finally feel comfortable and feel welcome because it is a very welcoming space. And everybody there is the kindest person you've ever met. Um, but my most proud work of this year has been a work that has been in the books since 2021. And it is a pilot episode of a show called Escapades of Everfell. It is a show produced by the talented and creative Sutter Libby. And it's a world post apocalyptic due to greenhouse gases corrupting the plant life on Earth, and most of humans are extinct now. But we still got a couple of us running around, but the world is mainly taken over by these biological plant beings. And when the project first started, I was playing the comedic side character who is the brother of the main character. Um, and though I loved playing that, it was a fantastic part for me, but eventually things started to move with this project a little bit faster and a little bit more succinct, and the post production started getting done. And it's going to be released soon. I would say within the next 6 months to a year. Um, but it's I'm now moved on from the brother to the main character, who's it's an incredible story, and I'm really glad that I stuck to this at the beginning. Um, I'm now in a place where I don't do a lot of free work, but I'm really glad that I said, you know what, I believe in this kid, and I think we can really make a stellar product out of this, and it's not disappointed. So that's the work I'm probably most proud of. Not only proud of myself, but proud of the whole team. It's been great.
God. Yeah, because I know with a lot of, you know, because I would talk about this in a lot of other episodes, but with indie projects where if a creator has a lot of say on what works and what doesn't, if you really give them just all of the creative freedom, like there's really no telling where it's gonna go from there. And
For
that's why I
sure.
just always love because when you see stuff like, the amazing digital circus or Lackadaisy or a lot of
Hmm.
these indie projects that are just really and some of them have even went on to like Netflix,
Yeah.
Amazon Prime and all this stuff. And I'm just, you know what? Like, hats off to all of you because I know we're living in a time where we're just experiencing in an era where we're experiencing just a lot of creative, just I don't want to say turmoil, but like a lot of like dry spells or recession that is happening in the industry. It is so refreshing to see so much love and care that is still being present in a lot of the, with audio dramas and stuff like that, including my own. I'm just saying, it's just so refreshing to see, and I just would love to see where it goes. Where it's going to take off from here on onwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
speaking of that, what would you say? Like speaking of Sunday morning stuff, like you mentioned Dragon Ball and stuff like that. What would you say were also just, and you could also list some of the people too who you consider to have left a very big impact on you, just, series, shows, creators, so on and so forth. Yeah, all that jazz.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now just to make sure that I don't mispronounce his name because I
Oh,
just
okay.
saw him the other day.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the biggest things, yeah, growing up was it was Dragon Ball. It was me, and I went to the babysitter, and the babysitter had a younger son who was around my age, so we would both be like kami-kami-haing each other and just yelling in the basement, driving her nuts, but it was fantastic. That was formative memories for me. And then I started, growing up, I moved away from anime a little bit, but still sort of, watch the cartoons. And then I got back into anime, and now I'm watching One Piece. And then I decided, you know what? Maybe I really do this. Maybe I really go for it. LA is mad expensive right now, and I don't want to move to New York. Nothing wrong with New York. I love to visit. But I started watching One Piece, and there is a constant character, an actor who just kind of inspires me. He kills every performance he does. It's Christopher Sabat, and yeah, just saw him the other day at a reading at Theater 3 down here in Dallas, and it was incredible just to see someone who's like, damn, not saying like he's the pure reason why I'm down here and I'm doing what I'm doing, but like it's one of those inspirational factors that's like a little piece of why I'm doing what I'm doing. So he's definitely one of them. I can't think of any others off the top of my head. But it's just seeing these like larger than life characters in a place where I thought that I would never be. And here we are, we're making the dream work. And I don't think there's anything better than that.
For sure. Yeah, because with a lot of stuff that I watch, like whether it's Batman or Avatar or just Animaniacs and so on and so forth, it kind of really does. And I'm even watching some other shows right now. I mean, you have like the episodic series like Gravity Falls or Stranger Things, and pretty much a lot of the shows that I mentioned last time when I did the interview with Kayla. A lot of these shows just really start like you start thinking of new ideas, and that's where the gears start wiring, and then you start coming up with a lot of this, crazy mumbo jumbo, like I was talking about. So for you personally, like being an actor and just doing audio engineering, what would you say is something that has really helped you alive from wearing so many different hats just as a creative artist?
Yeah, anybody in the industry, I think, should wear at least a couple.
Mhm.
It's great to see the other side of the screen, to see the other side of the booth. It's not only very telling as someone who has directed other actors to be like, oh, they know exactly what I'm trying to say here when I'm fumbling over my words. But it's great to know that other side of the screen so you can understand the language of what the engineer is like saying, hey, we step the fuck back from the microphone first. We're getting too many plosives in it. Just knowing how the sausage is made is it's a great way to help every aspect of the business, no matter where you fall. Knowing how it all comes together is it makes everything more cohesive and a lot more fulfilling at the end of the day. Because if I go into the studio, I do my stuff, and I go home, I watch it, and I'm like, oh, that was great, toss it aside. But knowing like how many hands have touched the work it makes it feel like eternal in a way, and it's so much more meaningful now that I know how many pieces are a part of this puzzle.
Uh, so for you, from what I'm getting, it's collaboration. Ignore that. Collaboration is what you really do believe in teamwork, making the dream work, and that's really what helped you and just everybody else like that you've worked alongside with because you've also worked with a lot of different clients over the years for like Bloody Abound and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
How would you say that collaboration has really helped you grow as an artist? Just to share from your give your 2 cents on,
Yeah.
collabs and
Um,
stuff.
my education in college it was grounded in devised work and in like a space where nobody is the leader, but there is a bunch of people coming together. We're gonna put on a show at the end of the year, and everybody's got to do their best job to make this one thing the thing that nobody has given you. You have to just come up with it as the group and make this little baby something beautiful. So like devised work is incredibly important to me in terms of where I come from as an actor, director, audio designer. No matter what part of the board I'm on, it's knowing how to work with people is huge. Um, and how to not only respect everybody in the room, but also know how to ask for things that are necessary to the project without stepping on toes. Um, and just not only keeping the quality up to par, but also keeping everybody in the room, happy that you're in the room is goes a long way.
Oh yeah. So for a lot of this stuff, I know that a lot of us we tend to apply some of our own personal experiences into the projects that we work on. So what are some positive takeaways that have really helped you when it comes to translating? Oh, this is real life stuff, and then just adding some sprinkles in it into theater or just audio, acting, so on and so forth.
Sure. Trying to think right now about an example when I've had to do that.
Okay.
Can you re-ask the question?
Okay, sure. Like, so for life, because I know that actors, like a lot of us, we tend to draw something from our lives and then using that to create a story, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, I
Yeah,
think I misunderstood.
no worry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for something like that, I say this for every character that I've ever played is that like my version of this guy is going to be different for the way that you do this guy. I think that a lot of character and like acting comes from who you are as a person. You can play a variety and a plethora of different archetypes, but at the end of the day, there's a little bit of me in every character. No matter how evil and awful and corrupt and I hate this person and why am I playing this but like I there's still a little bit of me in there. Like they'll have my sassiness. They'll have my my relationship with my mother. They'll have something a part of me that goes into every character, the good, the bad, the ugly. I think that a lot of the and it's funny, a lot of the people that play the villains in all these stuff that I collaborate with, it's the nicest people in the world play the villains, and it's I don't know why that is, but it's the sweetest, kindest people I've ever met, and it's like, oh, you're a Nazi in this show, and it's like, yeah, sorry, it's incredible. I think personal experience is everything when it comes to acting.
No, for sure. And it also, because for me, like being African American, black, and just as somebody who is very vocal about, um, having more of like a stronger authenticity, and just having more diverse voices in voice acting is kind of something that has been you know, it's something that we have been pushing hard for when it comes to having more like diverse, authentic talent just play roles, and not just in anime, but just for video games and animations and so on and so forth. And I'm kind of glad that we're getting like more of a push on that. And especially for those that are like, people that are non-binary or LGBT or just so on and so forth, whichever who you are. It's like I'm all for like, anybody can be uh, who they are, but it's also like I don't want certain groups of people that are just being shut out, if that makes sense. Like I'm
Yeah.
just glad that we're kind of seeing more of this, like with you and Kayla and, just a lot of Crunchyroll actors, specifically with a lot of talent that we're hearing a lot in these shows. It's like, yeah, I'm just really glad that we're getting more of this in anime now more than ever.
Yeah, they let in the white man. They let me. I can't believe they did it. Uh, no, I cover the Latino basis. It's fine. It's fine. I'm okay.
My God. Yeah, somebody's gonna watch this. Dustin said this. We're gonna cancel Dustin.
I'm.
For social media TikToks, like I know you did a couple of them, and I know
Mhm.
that people got a kick out of your face, but
Oh,
yeah, like doing
sorry.
content. I mean, I did too, but yeah, just talking about content creating. Like, what is something that you enjoy out of, posting this silly, dumb nonsense that you post on there and other
Well, I
stuff that you're
actually
on?
think it's art, and it's offensive that you bring. No, I'm just kidding. Uh,
Hmm.
no. Can of coffee was just like fun. It was fun. So yeah, I posted a decent bit of TikTok when I was in college, and it was just me and my friends. We were all like me and my friends, me and my 12 other acting students, were all like shoved in these dorms, and we were like, hey, it would be funny if we like made skits and sent them to each other. And then, we all started doing that, and then mine started getting a little bit more likes, and then mine started gaining followers, and then I got monetized, and then, oh fuck, I can really make some money during college by doing this, can't I? And I kept creating and I kept making, and it slowly turned into just a little love of mine, because it was so nice to be able to be in a space where I was creative all day. That was incredible. That was an insanely productive space for me to be in college, where I was just morning I was prepping whatever scene I was doing in class that day, and then at night I was running around making a stupid D&D skit on TikTok. Like it was so much fun. It was just a lot of it, 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 I'm not gonna say it was hard, and I committed to the craft, and I had to really dig deep for some of those TikToks. No, it was just a bunch of bullshit and fun. It was amazing, and then I got to send them to my friends, and they sent things back, and it was always just all for laughs and fun. And it was probably something that I'm not going to be ever as intense as I was in college, but I was actually thinking about making a couple more videos this coming month, and maybe like posting them to my Twitter where I'm more active now, and showing my voiceover buddies like, hey, I can be funny, please hire me. And that's kind of Yeah, I think social media is just a fun tool if not overused.
Yeah. Well, joke's on me. I'm not on Twitter X anymore. Follow me on that
Hey, you're
butterfly.
better for it.
Exactly. So, yeah, because you do podcasting and D&D, which I'm so glad that you brought up. So, yeah, D&D shenanigans. Tell us about it a little bit.
Sure, sure. I'm currently getting recruited for a D&D stream that is going to be this DM's first time DMing publicly. They've been a DM for their home games for quite some time. They're an actor, uh, who I think is either new to the Dallas area or that's completely wrong. I'm not gonna name drop anybody yet, but I will be posting about it. Within the next month because we are still in the pre-production portion of things. I will say my character in that is going to be stupid cool. I came up with this character where he's a fairy, but he is a barbarian artificer. And so I'm gonna make him a little bit like a mecha, his barbarian class is Path of the Giant. So whenever he rages, he gets a size larger. But when he rages, he's just gonna hop into his artificered armored mecha, and that's how he gets larger. And I think it's gonna be fun to have like almost like a Power Ranger kind of esque kind of a vibe from him. Um, but yeah, it's got a bunch of other talent on there that's gonna be great. I'm gonna be plugging that to hell coming next month. Yeah, the DM and I just recently made a connection on social media and realized that we were close, and we're gonna go like have dinner and make this frickin' stream for something that we can just keep the creative juices flowing without having to book a bunch of extra work. And it feels like it's good to have the creative work when it doesn't feel like work because there's definitely some projects you pick up and it's like, oh, let's go, let's crack it out today, let's make sure this gets done. But this is going to be one of those things that it's going to feel like a breeze. It's going to be incredible, and it's got so many fun people a part of it too.
So, real quick, because I don't think I've asked Kayla, but how did you guys actually meet? And, just got this
Yeah,
whole, like, guys, hard man just living together. I don't know, just hope that whole ordeal straight out. But yeah,
oh yeah.
your guys, yeah, the origin story, as I like to call it.
So yeah, like I said, I went to an acting college, a conservatory in Cincinnati called CCM, and they were a year above me, and they asked me to do a show with them that they wrote. And I was like, yes, please. Yeah, let's do it. I'm so down. Do you want to rehearse right now? We can rehearse right now. And they were like, oh, I can't believe like he's so like willing to put in the work with me and come have private rehearsals at my apartment and do all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you were absolutely an idiot. I was totally trying to flirt with you the whole time. And so we ended up, after the show, I left them this long note on the back of the script of just how awesome this whole process has been, how great I feel about them as a person, as an actor, as a writer, and then hoping that we don't lose touch because I've definitely, loved hanging out with you. And they were like, oh, he's just sweet. He's just a sweet guy. And then I ended up taking them out, and then we ended up, officially started dating after that. And they're like, "Oh, you like me?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes, put it together." So yeah, it was fun, and we've stuck together ever since. We both decided about a year before we were moving out of Cincinnati. Um, we were like, well, we got to determine LA, New York, Chicago, and then eventually we started talking about Dallas because that's where they're from. Um, that they record a lot of anime down here, and the commercial scene is pretty good down here. And we said, screw it, let's send it, and we did. And it's going well, and I'm shocked how well it's going. But we're still grinding and making it work. And yeah, they're my biggest manager, partner, talent scout, writer, editor, everything. And it's been fantastic ever since.
Yeah, it sounds like Dallas is really going well for the two of you guys, which I'm really
Yeah.
happy about because yeah,
For sure.
I know that Dallas can have its own little ups and downs, but as long as you're making it work, then we good. Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
Okay. You want to know how we actually kind of met, like Kayla and I? Okay, no joke. I made a post looking for writers on Twitter. Like, hey, I'm just looking for anybody with
Yeah.
experience. They responded, and we were just like, okay, let me just see some of your. And then we started talking, kind of really started getting on at that somehow they are able they're still my main writer, so I don't know how we were able to make it work, but it's kind of like it's so weird how you just meet somebody and then it's like, oh, we kind of hit it off pretty well, and now two what is it, 2 years later we're still making it happen, so which is crazy because
It
I still
really is. The
remember writing
connections we
that.
made.
Yeah, I still remember having that teaser like from a lot 2 years ago, and now here we are, just about to release episode one, which is wild to me.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely stay tuned for more coming up out pretty soon. But for now, I think we're kind of just about wrapping it up here. So if you want to close us out with any last bit of advice, social media, closing thoughts, all that stuff, take it away. Floor is yours.
Closing advice. Really, it's that anime mantra that you can't get out of your head of just like never give up. Really, never give up because you might think it's all over. You might think I'm too old to do this. You might think I don't have enough experience. I don't have enough training. I don't know enough people to make this happen. But it really just comes down to the amount of work you put into it. And auditions are everywhere. It's such a wide world of content right now. It is like we said earlier, it's tough to get that content out there, but there are auditions everywhere. And if you're hungry for the work, it's definitely out there to take. Um, there was a great story of I forget exactly who it was, but there was an anime actor who was about to really just give up. They've been contracted with Crunchyroll. They've only been getting these additional voices and wall parts, and they're like, really, I don't think it's happening. I really think that this is going nowhere. And then they ended up getting a lead role that next season. You know who it is?
I Okay, his name is escaping me, but I think I know who you're talking about.
Word.
I don't know if it was Zach Aguilar or somebody else, but probably sounds like it might have been Zach or somebody. But
It sounds
I don't,
familiar.
yeah, I don't know.
Someone
It
who
might be
is
somebody,
doing
but
well.
yeah, yeah. Let's just say that, yeah,
Closing words is never give up.
yeah. And what's your socials and your stuff if you want to plug, if you want to self
Uh,
promote that? Yeah,
yeah. My
just sell
Instagram
yourself.
is Dusty
Yeah.
underscore Parsons. I think my Twitter is just Dustin Parsons, and my TikTok is Dustin Parsons 0 because somebody else took my name, bastard. I'm not allowed to curse on here.
Too late.
We'll bleep it.
We'll do our best. I don't know. Everything that I do is raw, like Gordon Ramsay raw.
Word.
So yeah, that's how we roll up in here. That's how we
Dang
do
it.
it all up in here. So yeah, if you'd like to do the outro, say your name, the work you do, and this is Station Square with if you're up to it. So,
You said Station Square?
Station Square podcast with me, Robert Jackson. If you're up
Word, word,
for it.
word.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Dustin Parsons. I am an actor, director, audio designer, and this is Station Square Podcast with Robert Jackson. See you next time.
Perfect. Yeah. Much better than Caleb. I'm kidding. Love you, Caleb. Just
Get
you
him!
rock.
Get
Get
him!
him. Yeah, we were mocking you, so now we just kind of pretty much have been just, waiting down for this interview. So, but we all love it here. You rock. Just
Appreciate
heads
that.
up. So, yeah, thank you so much. And until next time, stick around on Station Square and stick around for more Solomon Shrine coming soon. And until then, love you folks. Stay lovely out there. Stay cool from this dreaded heat. And until then, oh, and congrats on the SAG-AFTRA actor strike. That's over. Yay. So, point that out there. So, anyways, love y'all. Bye. No AI. So, hire us. Peace.